Hey everybody, it is Jo and welcome back to Trauma Talk. Thank you for being here. I was reminded of something today that made me very uncomfortable, and thus I thought I should probably talk about it. I have made quite a few videos about other people's reactions to me after going through a traumatic relationship, after going through sexual assault, after, everything. And how people's reactions were so damaging, and I made videos about, how to respond to your friends and how to, respond better and why people respond the way they do and so on and so forth. But I was thinking today about how I responded before I knew better. And it really makes me very uncomfortable to think about, but I think it's worth talking about because a big part of my life is talking about trauma recovery now, but I would be lax if I didn't mention that before I knew better, I was part of the problem. I was part of the group of people who didn't know how to respond and who responded badly and who caused damage in my reaction. Specifically in high school, I remember a good friend of mine, who is still a good friend of mine, you know who you are, thank you, had gone through significant abuse as a child, and high school was really hard for her. She was trying to deal with everything and trying to reconcile life and trying to live with a very different worldview than most teenagers had, having endured so much dark stuff as a 4-year-old that I nor most high schoolers had any idea of. And she's walking through high school trying to figure out life, let alone high school, because that's just a crap show in itself sometimes. And she had a hard time, I don't want to say adjusting, that's the wrong word, but she came across to some people as dramatic, and they would say that. And I would always stand up for her until I stopped standing up for her. And then I started thinking, you know what, maybe she is just being dramatic. Maybe she does just need to get over it, Maybe she is just really trying to hold on to things from the past and is looking for attention. And I remember we were on a summer camp in Colorado, and she was having a really hard time, and I was there with her, and she was having a conflict with a friend of mine, and I did not take her side. And I sat down with her and I told her what I had been thinking. I told her that I thought that she was overreacting, that I thought she was being overdramatic and looking for attention, and that she should really just get over things. And the damage that I caused with those words, I am very ashamed of, because I now know what it actually did. Not only from her explaining it to me, but also having been on the other side of trauma and receiving those words. And I said those things from a place of two things: not wanting her to hurt anymore, and also just having literally no understanding, no idea what she was going through, no understanding of what was happening, and just trying to fix it and being like, this is weird, I don't get it, so the answer must be you're just making a big deal out of nothing. I didn't take the time to stretch myself and try to understand. I think that is humanity's folly most of the time. I don't think, as I've said in other videos, that most people intend to cause harm when they say very ignorant things to people who are hurting. I think that we just do not take the time to try to understand, because it's uncomfortable. It's difficult to try to sit in someone else's shoes, especially when those shoes are painful and bloody and confusing. And I am so honored and blessed that this friend, after taking the time that she needed to heal from my words, was willing to explain why what I said was so damaging, why she wasn't being overdramatic or making a big deal out of nothing, and what she was going through. And we're very good friends still. And she's helped me through a lot. But I just want to talk about a time that I really messed up. And I'm 1,000% certain there have been other times. I'm 1,000% certain that there have been times when I have had the knowledge and have still responded the wrong way. And I'm doing my very best to not respond the wrong way to people when I don't understand, because there's all different kinds of things, especially with trauma still, that I don't understand. But I think across the board, trying to take a moment to pause and understand where someone else is coming from when we do not get it is so important. And whether or not we're talking about a traumatized individual, or if we're just talking about a friend or family member or a random stranger, I would like to encourage all of us, myself included, to take a moment to try to extend 2 minutes of understanding. Because if I had done that with my friend in high school, I could have avoided a boatload of hurt that I chose instead to be selfish and not. And I think the world could use a little bit more understanding. And also, just to clarify real quick, I'm not talking about trying to understand someone if they're causing you harm. If you're in an abusive relationship, don't try to understand it, just get out of it. But I'm talking about situations outside of that. I think that humanity could do a lot of good to lend a little bit of understanding to each other. I am Jo Beckwith, and this is Trauma Talk. I appreciate you all so much. Please do not leave before you hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, or like if you're on Facebook, so you do not miss the upcoming video, which will be out in a couple days. I look forward to seeing you then.